your name.
Yes.
Your name? Oh, I thought
Not my
you just
name.
read your name.
Nicholson.
Back here.
Yes.
Who are the visitors?
It's a guy in a red shirt, what do you want me to tell you?
What's his name?
Wolf. Wolf for the meeting. Is that your name? What's that?
Vincent.
Vincent Wolf. Did you get all that?
Vincent or Vincent?
Vincent.
Vincent.
Yes. Good?
Yeah, and is there another visitor beside Daniel?
Greg Brazenton. Greg Brazenton.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and call the September 2nd, 2021 Fire Commission meeting to order. Thank y'all for coming. I'll ask the communication. Lord, thank you this day. Thank you for many blessings of life. We ask tonight you please be with each one of us, our families, and our departments that we represent. We ask you to be with us tonight to make decisions that are best for the county, that we do that with open minds, the Lord, and we thank you, not just what our will is, but what the departments in the county's best will is, the Lord. We thank you for the food we have. We ask you to bless it, make it nourish our body and body your service. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, all of you should have received an agenda in your packet. Need a motion for approval. CJ Addison, approval. First, second by Chris Madden. Or any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, unanimous. All right, visitors' comments. Mr. Wolf now. Yeah.
Yes, that would be me.
Yes, sir.
If it makes it easier, have a card that say Hanford. So, appreciate you letting me come in and talk to you for a few minutes. My name is Vince Wolf. I work with 1-800-BOARD-UP. It is a victim assistance company. And we've just launched in this area, so we're covering Union County, Lancaster County, and York County, and the bottom part of Mecklenburg County. We've got a fairly large area that we're going to be covering. Right now, it's kind of getting out. We're trying to do some education, let people know that we're here. And so far, the feedback that I've been getting, you're a board-up company. Yeah, that's true. I am a board-up company. We can secure people's properties. We can secure residential, commercial buildings as well. The priority of this business is victim assistance. So that side of it, if somebody is displaced from their home for any reason, fire, storm, act of nature, vehicle into a building, vandalism, whatever, if they're displaced, we've got the resources to be able to come in and relocate them and house them until their insurance steps in and takes care of it. So ultimately, I am the victim advocate. My job is to show up to your incident when you call me, show up within an hour, and show up and being able to provide assistance to that individual or that family. And that can be either putting them up into a hotel room, or we also have several residences that we have available to be able to relocate families. So, and that's at no cost to them, no cost to the agency responding. It's just a service that we provide. We provide victim assistance kits as far as toiletries and stuff like that to be able to get them started. So like I said, my job is for at least the first 72 to 96 hours after their disaster is to help them start the recovery process. Is my job. To keep them afloat until their insurance steps in and their insurance is able to start paying what they need to as far as getting them relocated and start supplementing their loss. If this is something that you think is going to be beneficial and will help the community, we work together with the Red Cross on a lot of our responses already. That's been very beneficial as far as what the Red Cross does and what we're able to do. The board-up side of it is beneficial because one, it's reducing and eliminating the liability off of the homeowner once they leave the property. Because once they leave the property, they're still liable to that property. So if something does happen, we want to reduce the attractive nuisance of the property. So anything like that, we're able to secure the property, put the fence up, boarding it up, securing it so that nobody that's not supposed to be getting in there doesn't get in there. I've got some information back here, some packets. I've dropped some of it off at a couple of the fire departments already. The ones that I know where they are at, I am not terribly familiar with Lancaster County, the small tail that goes up in between Union County and York County. I'm familiar with that. The rest of it, not so much. But I'll try. But like I said, our job, our goal is once you call us, we're on scene within an hour. Some of the other things that we are providing as well is we have refreshments and stuff like that to the guys operating on scene, to the firefighters operating on scene. So some of you that don't have those types of resources available to you, if you don't have a large auxiliary, or like some of us that work in Charlotte, we've got a big rehab truck that shows up. A lot of you may not have that. So when I show up, I carry a large cooler, I carry a tote with snacks and stuff like that. If the guys have been operating on scene of an incident for a long duration of time, that's the other part of that. It's taking care of people, ultimately. Taking care of the firefighters on scene, taking care of the victims, and coming together on that end of it. And whatever the victim needs, if they need that, then we have the ability to take care of their property as well. So that they don't have, when we put them up, they don't have that to worry about. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer anything. And if you'd like one of my packets, I've got chiefs back here that I'd be more than happy to give you, take back to your departments. Again, this is something that I can come in next month and do an actual PowerPoint presentation on it, approval by the commission.
Any questions?
Just a reminder, along the government side and legalities, you can't treat this no different than you can a towing service. So you can't promote one over the other. So remember that as he's talking. You can't actually say, call 1-800 board up. You can tell them to look, there's places out there, but you can't actually say, call 1-800 board up. Does that make sense? No, just like we can't say, call certain towing company when they ask. You can say, you got a phone, look it up, there's several around. We don't want to get into that. We've had a problem in the past where we had members recommending certain towing companies. And it got into a big legal issue.
And some of the things that we've done as far as that, so we've got an entire list of qualifications that anybody that works for our company has to abide by. So, everybody that shows up on scene wearing 1-800 board up has gone through a background test. Everybody that wears my uniform and shows up on scene is trained in NIMS 100, 200, and 700. So we make sure that they know where they can be, where they can't be on an incident scene as not to impede ongoing operations. Some of the things that we're also involved in away from that, our partners are the IAFC, the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation, and the Firefighters Cancer Support Network. So if things like that are going on, we love, not love, but because we hate when those things happen to firefighters, but we're here if something like that comes up. We want to be able to support the organizations and the agencies that are involved, and kind of build that partnership. We're not just here to come over here to board up somebody's house, but we're also here to help the fire department and help the agencies that are going to be responding to this. Got training stuff that comes up, like I said, call us. It doesn't have to. If you're out on something that's not a house fire, but you're out there, tanker rollover, going into Pineville on a large machinery fire, and just provide a rehab. So if you got anything that you think we can help, we'll provide some assistance to you, call us. And we'll be there within an hour.
Are y'all listed as a nonprofit organization or?
No, it is a profit, but again, if you call us and the homeowner doesn't have insurance, we're still gonna take care of them, we're still gonna put them up. We're still gonna take care of the property whether they have insurance or not. They're not gonna get a bill. The values of businesses put people before profit. So if we've got to board up several people's homes because they don't have insurance, we're still gonna do it. Because at some point in time, somebody will have insurance. And, as long as it's covered. Their homeowner's not going to get a bill from us, and no city agency's going to get a bill from us. And the victim services that we provide are completely free.
Any other questions for me? We appreciate you coming. I'll get back with you. We want to go further with anything else.
Appreciate it. I
Yes,
got
sir.
stacked cards, and I'll leave some booklets here if that works out for you.
That'll be perfect, thank you. Any other visitor comments? In your packet, was our minutes from the August the 5th, meeting, and motion to approve.
Second. Yeah, tell them who we are.
Henry Baker, second.
Daniel was the motion to approve, first motion. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Unanimous pass. All right. Moving on, grant updates. I think there's nothing I know of unless y'all know something they got to tell us. Y'all know something? Yes, no? Training report?
All right, members of the commission, just take a look at your packet as I go along through the list. Classes are going fairly well. We just finished Firefighter 2. I want to talk about Firefighter 2 real quick. We was the first ones in the state to do it. All right, now, that being said, a lot of your members are waiting for their test scores, and here's why. The ISTA has not released the test bank answer keys yet to our fire academy. Alright? There was word that they were going to be released yesterday, September the 1st, but they have not gotten them. Alright? So they have not released it. Our fire academy has not gotten them yet. So I'm going to be quite honest with you, they don't even know when they're going to be able to grade it yet. Alright? Regional office does not have them. Fire academy doesn't have the test bank yet. We was allowed to teach the class. The fire academy recruits for teaching the class, or teaching, which doesn't make any sense to me, because how can I have a test bank for firefighter 1, but we don't have one for firefighter 2, all right? But, needless to say, there's that. But just be patient, please. We're still getting a lot of questions about when they're going to be graded, when they get the test bank, all right? It's crazy, I know, all right? So there's that. We've got EDT starting next Tuesday, and so forth down the list with upcoming classes for that. January to June is kind of crazy. We're already talking about that, but September we always turn in the next 6 months for the new year. So so far we have fire and life safety educator in January. We got the new firefighter 1 that will be all of February and March, taking 3 weekends off. All right. Aerial ops, incident safety officer, truck company ops, sport company ops, high angle. We don't have a high angle class. Pump ops 2. There was a request for EVDT IOW, and then a hazmat ops class for that as well. So be looking for that. If your department would like to host any more, please let me know. But so far, that is what I've heard from your training officers. High school class is going pandemic still. 8 seniors, and 12 juniors. We had a bump up at the beginning of the year with the exposure. Kids had to be out a week, so we're going on with that. And IST still first Wednesday here, second Wednesday Kershaw, third Wednesday Indian. And updating your roster, I should keep this on here just as a reminder. And lastly, Mr. Chairman, is Indian will be hosting, and we'll be hosting a class here. We'll be hosting it, but Indian will be sponsoring it for a map reading and land navigation class. And you can see the dates at the bottom of it. Yes, that is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 8 to 5 schedule. However, please look at the Saturday. There is a portion where you have to pitch a tent, and you will be staying the night in the woods, all right, for that evolution of the class, all right, for that. So Charlie is the instructor. He taught a fabulous man tracking class that we took, several of us took at multiple times, and we're bringing him down here for our personnel here in Lancaster County. So please take advantage of this class. It's great, so that way we can have it for our land-based searches in case we need that in Lancaster County. Any questions, Chairman?
Any questions for Britt? That's a maintenance report.
Sorry. See if they have me further in my paper. Guys, I passed the maintenance report out. It's a lot of major items being fixed right now. 1441 is still out of service. The ship date for the repair for the wreck to the side of the truck, the door is supposed to ship on September the 10th. Still waiting on the radiator for it and some other parts. I can tell y'all that prior to or the start of the COVID pandemic, one and a half year ago today, right? 1.5 years, a little over more. Y'all heard all the supply chain problems that up north was having and out west, northwest. That's what we're having now. We're seeing it. Gear, turnout gear. I highly suggest it don't matter what gear you buying out of the catalog. If you buy gear, let's get you people sized and let's get the gear ordered quick. If you want to just order your gear, make a copy of that front sheet so you can do your final tallies on the rest of your order. That's fine. Send that sheet in to Donna so we can get that gear ordered, them size, and get that gear ordered. You're looking at 6 to 8 months. Well, I said 6 months. You're looking at 8 months for trying to get that done. Supply chain stinks. I've ordered some parts and they're taking forever to get here. And we've had some parts come in that surprisingly took hardly no time. But anyway, 1441's out of service. The backup 601 is out of service. It's been out of service 2 weeks right now. Right. We thought it was a fuel issue. We narrowed the fuel issue down, cleaned it out. The algae, that was not the problem. We couldn't make the turbo actuate, and that was one of the parts I said that come in relatively quick. Surprisingly, we was able to find a turbo for a 1998 F800. Put a new turbo on it, that wasn't a problem. We're working with some other vendors on some resolution to that truck, and we'll get it back in service. Right now, they're using 644 first out, due to it's got a whole lot more compartment space. Other repairs to be done. We're getting parts in as we can. Right now I have 1002 at the shop. We had a long list of things to be done yet. Brakes was one. Brian can tell you when I got in here a while ago after changing the brakes on that truck, I was nasty. It's cooler weather, it's gonna help us out a lot. We're getting stuff done. I had to take a hiatus from here for a week and a half due to COVID. I was really good at keeping my daughter quarantined from us for almost 2 weeks, and I went to a fire and ended up with COVID. Contact tracing back to the fire 4 days or 3.5 days after contact. Being exposed, I had COVID. I did get to work on the truck a lot, the county truck, and got some parts straightened out on it that I needed to do for a while. So, but Chico kept stuff going while I was gone, he worked his tail off, and there's still a lot to do. Our list is dwindling, but that is the list of repairs that need to be repaired. They ain't got nothing to do with preventive maintenance. And we're still going on preventive maintenance. All the generators finally got serviced right before I left. We had some repairs to do to them for the backup generators for the stations that's got them. All that's been done, finally, but we're knocking it out. Anybody got any questions about maintenance? All I got, Mr. Chairman.
Budget detail account inquiry, just like always on the inside. If anybody's got any questions, I'll try to get you some answers for it.
I got one thing on that, just for information. Darren made mention last month that I would update y'all on the pickup trucks. Benson Ford defaulted on the PO and could not provide the truck. So, in the process of waiting for Benson Ford to give us some information, we had the money, the purchasing department had the money moved to this year's budget. So right now, we're waiting on a bid package coming back for 4 pickup trucks. The one from last year, the one for the brush truck for this year, and the 2 new hire, the 2 additional trucks for the 2 new positions. That's supposed to be opened on September the 9th. I had to leave it open for the minimum, it was a minimum amount of days that we had to leave the bid open for. But once it comes back, just as soon as it comes back, with y'all's permission, I'll get the PO cut so we can get the trucks ordered. We've done some research on some information that Benson gave us. Some false information was given. This ain't the first time we dealt with a Ford dealer that's defaulted on something, so one of them stepped up. I'm not gonna name any particular one, but the one that made a mistake before stepped up and provided, and that was when we started with the 10. They provided us 5 trucks to drive with no charge. So those things can be done to take place. We're still shoving on all the equipment's here for the pickup. I have made sure that the stuff we already got will work on the 2022s, is what it will be, the truck will be. I don't think that many 2021s got built. They cut the production off of it pretty quick after they filled up the lot. And started changing tools.
There's a field full of them.
Yeah. So, with that being said, that's the pickup truck. All it is a waiting game. That's all we can do. Any questions on the pickup trucks? Yeah, pretty much that's all going on right now. This pickup truck. Budget wise.
You need a motion to see for.
No, that was just for information items. I can't do it on that. We can do it on number 3 when we get there.
Moving on to action items, discussion concerning the recruitment and retention stipend information update.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The package we're handing out, those are the numbers from this year, as far as how much money each of your members are getting. I want to make a note, the payroll, she says she will definitely have it on payroll on the 23rd. And barring any objection tonight, I'll get the paperwork turned in tomorrow for the accounts payable. And I give her around 3 weeks. She should be able to get the checks the same week. I can't guarantee when she'll get them. But payroll says they can guarantee the 23rd. So we should be around the same time frame on the hard checks. Any questions?
CJ has made a motion to allow Brian to move forward with getting everything to accounts payable. Daniel made it the second. Any discussion on that? All in favor? Any opposed? Unanimous? Thank you, sir. Number 2, we had a request from Kershaw Fire Department to discuss the COVID response protocols that we are for emergency first responder calls. We'd like to bring up for discussion with the commission the fact that possibly looking at going back to the same way we were a year and a half ago, or a year ago, whenever it was, we changed our protocols on first responder calls to cut them back, to minimize the exposure to, our members. And then hopefully not, if something happens, one of us gets exposed, take it home to our families at home. So I'll turn it over to Kershaw's representative to just open it up for discussion.
Basically, fire department was questioning, I don't have the email in front of me, but, the procedures we had in place as far as the county goes, anything as far as masks or anything of that sort being used. And if there's any PPE guidelines that the fire service would recommend going to these calls.
I know in the original phases, and nothing has changed, and we've got Greg here from EMS, he can speak of it as well, what he knows as well, being our first responder coordinator. All the ambulances still have the first responder PPE packet that are on.
Yes, they are required every morning to check their ambulances to make sure there's at least 2 packages available for every first responder under the bed seat in every ALS unit to roll out. So we've done as far as gloves, gowns, goggles, and masks, and each kit there should be available to you. If not, there is a kit for the medics to have them, so if you have multiple entities on scene, they can utilize those and be restocked by our logistics officer.
And we still have masks and stuff available if y'all run out of supplies. You know, we passed a bunch of supplies out, so if you run out,
Yeah.
I just need to ask for more, and you can more.
What kind of mask do you have?
Just regular, like Greg's got on.
Okay, you don't have to be in that, but we called down here and asked that, and so we didn't have it.
We've never had them. CDC says not to put them on firefighters.
So that part, there is, those kits are on there as well, for that.
Just, could that be, I know before pretty much, and Greg could probably speak to this too, especially on the north end, and we get hammered at 3 down here at 12. Could that be made per station discretion instead of just shut the whole thing down, or would we have to go countywide?
But it can be kind of left up to us. The last time the executive committee met and just did it across the board to make it easier on dispatch, and that would be, it would be left up to us on how, you know, we wanted it to handle it or whatever. I would think that it would be way too cumbersome for dispatch to say that Station 14 is gonna run their calls, Station 12 is not gonna run their calls or do a limb response, Station 11 is gonna do. So it probably would just basically be that your station just understands that you're not gonna run them or whatever, because unless it was across the board decision to go back to the way we were, I don't know that they would be able in a timely manner to be able to say, because it would just all be notes, I would think, to say, hey, don't page out 12, but page out 14, page out 7.
Well, if you do it that way, leave it the way it is, and let the station make that decision whether they wanna respond to it or not, because I'm telling you, that EMS needs help on some of these calls. I mean, you know, I think it should be left the way it is, and let the station decide on their own, or chief or first responder decide. If they don't wanna go to them, I mean, you're not forcing them to go to them, you know?
But it wasn't necessarily not run calls.
Yeah.
Basically our concerns were, are we gonna have enough PPE? Because I don't think we've missed any calls, maybe a couple this year total. But the fact of, is there anything on the trucks? We got called out for several of them over the last couple of weeks, and I want to say COVID positive. Is there anything saying stage, wait for EMS to get there, see if they need anything?
I know originally, and this was at the direction of Clay, and make sure I'm on the right track when I say it. Originally, we were told to basically, if it was COVID positive, to only send one in at the most, and then if possible, wait until EMS got there, let them handle it, and let us be, you know, the backup. Was originally, and I don't know, is that still kind of how y'all are?
That was meant to minimize the amount of people that were exposed.
Yeah.
If you know, instead of four firemen going in and getting the whole department exposed, you send one officer in and kind of assess the situation. If it was dire needs, then by all means, all personnel come in. Because we have a tendency for a lot of resources to be used up when not necessarily needed. One person could assess a minor injury where 4 people would use max gloves and gowns, and we were having trouble with our supply chain, like he was saying, receiving my stuff. We're literally getting one box of gloves a week from our supplier. We've already paid for a pallet full, but they're only sending us one box at a time. That's how much of a demand it is right now for gloves and gowns and masks. And it's right now, with the go out with Delta variant, it's gonna get worse.
And two was the fact that when EMS got there, they had the kits on there for first responders, because, you know, unless your department had stuff, supplies or whatever, we probably didn't have it on our trucks.
Now, does the county have suits and stuff, if we have 4 EMS to wear?
Technically, you don't need suits.
That's
It's a
EMS
respiratory virus, so as long as you got your mask on and gloves, you're covered.
You also need gown.
Uh,
Gowns,
Yeah.
also requires the N95 goggles and gloves and gown.
If you don't have proper PPE, just wait till we get there.
Could we, well, like I said, we had cardiac arrest here a few weeks ago, that was that, and that's all we got asking, so we can stock some more trucks. I don't think we have a problem at all running them. So, anyway.
I think there was something in there about, I think there was another question I remember seeing. There was something else in there. Make sure we covered all the questions.
We got an exposure plan, PPE.
Exposure plan, I think.
Yeah.
That they were just wondering if the county have an exposure plan written that if they were exposed to anything that's supposed to be done.
Because you got 3 or 4 people on the engine, you send one person in, that person get back in the engine with the rest of those guys. Do we have anything in place for that?
As long as he decons himself, he's not exposed. If he's got the proper PPE on, and he decons himself before he gets around anybody, he is not exposed. If he don't have the proper PPE on, and he gets droplets on his hands and rubs his face, he's exposed himself, he or she. As long as you have the proper PPE on and using it properly, you're not exposing anybody in the truck as long as you decon before you get in the truck. Take your gloves off, you take your mask off. You take your mask off before you take your gloves off, you grab it on the front and break the straps on the mask and fold it up in the gloves like we're trained to do. Then the inside of your gloves will clean.
See if I can get something from EMS and get Ms. Donna to send it out to everybody, that has a little bit more, an update, since things kinda went down and come back up again. See if we can get something to send out to everybody, just as a little reminder of what to do type things or whatever. And that way she can send it out, web blast it out to everybody.
Is there a way we can get some gloves and masks if we do? I mean, everything my station, I really ain't got anything.
All you gotta do is fill out a sheet.
I mean,
The
as far as
mask we
small
got.
mask.
The mask we got here,
Just small mask.
yes.
Okay.
And we got the mask like, the surgical mask like Greg got. Signal before you leave, those drugs or something.
Was there any other?
You said you had a surgical mask, but we don't have gloves. County don't need your gloves.
EMS issues,
EMS
yes.
does, okay.
We've got some extra larges other than that, and that was because that's the way it came in on surplus. I got extra larges. Other than that, Greg and them have to disseminate that.
We're getting them in, we're just getting them in slow, we're not getting them in as much. If you ask me for 3 boxes, I might give you a box. I can only give you what we have. Now, make sure we can maintain our stock too. Now, we do have our little stockpile up north. We're gonna have to move it soon because they're doing, so we kinda get a head count what all we have to get like. I could probably give us some better numbers of what we do have.
They gonna tear our building down or no?
I think they are, they're getting ready to turn the parking lot up now and fencing it in.
Yeah.
So we gotta get in there and get all the stuff out. We gotta keep it under control. We don't want them bumping into anything. We don't wanna lose any of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
Any other question on the COVID response type stuff?
So right now, response is staying the same.
I'll see if I can get something, a written statement or something, Clay, for protocol type stuff and get it sent out. Number 3, discussion concerning fire commission budget.
Back to the only thing we got on the budget is trucks. I'm not sure, I thought we done it last meeting, but y'all can make a motion this meeting. Once we get the bids in, move forward to lower bidder. It'll be the spec that we done last year. With the change, there was no changes for the 2022 model, but they said it would be the 2022 model.
Brooks Automatic.
Brooks made a motion to move forward with the lowest bidders winning for the county pickup trucks, second by CJ. Any discussion?
So, $4,000.
Yes, sir. All in favor? Any opposed? Pass unanimous. Is anything else besides that?
That's it.
Call types, there was nothing, that's just on there continuing from whenever that's taken care of. This, fire alarm policies as well, as far as what's going on with that. And that's a continuation on there. Any discussion concerning AFG grants? Anybody heard anything that applied for any? Alright. Down to standing committee reports, SOGs, didn't have anything. Strategic planning, nothing. Apparatus equipment, nothing. Budget, everything. PERC, nothing. And there's nothing for the rescue. I know we do have something, information, I guess you say tonight, from Station 5, and we'll, it's been requested to put on our agenda for next October's meeting, so just be thinking about that for when it comes back to October's meeting. So we'll let you bring it up.
Some of our guys were having, questions about how you are canceling calls and canceling alarms and things. And we got to looking at the SOGs for dispatching alarms, and I think that it needs to be re-looked at and possibly rewritten some. 803.01. 803.01.
803.01 is the SOG, and take a look at that.
Part of the thing is, we still have, I know for years we talked about only 1 through 9 can cancel calls. And then we've always said, well, 1 through 9 is always on the scene. And just thought we'll have to open up, who can cancel calls and do things like that.
So y'all take a look at that, do your homework for this month. Look at that, when we'll talk about it, it's gonna be on the agenda next month. So we'll talk about it more in depth, because it's going to be brought up, to go ahead and get your mind thinking that route. We can look at that. We decided to go to SOG committee and send it to them or whatever, but just take a look at that. Any other, commission comments? 803.1. Yes, sir.
Unity Fire Department has their barbecue October 2nd. Starts at 11 a.m.
Unity Fire Department barbecue October 2nd, starting at 11 a.m. Anything else? Hearing none, I have a motion. Jason Lane made a motion to adjourn. Second from a bunch of people continuing right now. All in favor? We're adjourned.